We've bought 9 companies over the past 8 years. We're getting ready to do our 10th, and we're going to continue to see acquisitions as a big part of what we do. Let's talk about acquiring to grow. Back in 2016, when I first took over the company, we were a small business doing around $1 million of sales. It seemed impossible to grow to the size that I wanted to get to in a reasonable enough time. I looked around and I saw a few of my competitors buying each other out. This was 2016, 2017, so it was small companies buying small companies, but the draw was real. With a stroke of a pen and a cut of a check, you could grow overnight, and man, it's appealing. So when we started down our road of heavy growth, acquisitions was a pretty big part of the equation. In 2018, we bought our first company, and we doubled overnight at both team and revenue. And after that, it was sort of like, okay, this has to become a real part of what we do. So acquiring to grow, let's dive in a little bit deeper here. The way this works is if I'm a plumbing company and I want to grow, there are 2 main ways to do it. There's organic, which is marketing, hiring, running a good business, and there's inorganic, acquisitions, mergers. Inorganic is what we're focusing on here. The benefit of inorganic is it can be kind of fast. So if time is of the essence, where you have to get to the next stage for whatever reason, acquisitions are a great way to do it. You can add on quick revenue, you can add on all of their existing customers, all of their existing staff, you get their phone calls, and it can give you growth for years to come by unlocking efficiencies that they didn't use. So I'm going to give some examples from some of the deals that we've done. So we'll buy a company, they'll have 5,000 to 10,000 customers in their customer list that they've never spoken to. So suddenly we buy them and we start talking to their customers. Maybe they were doing $2 million of revenue, but to us it's $4 million because we don't have to market, we can just market to their own people. It increases buying power because they have vendor relationships. So when we buy a company and we're getting ready to close that deal, we immediately turn around and start negotiating with nearly every vendor that we share and say, hey, our volume is about to go up. Here's what it's going to look like. What can this look like? We've seen some of our biggest savings right after a deal. And that can be in softwares because users gone up, in gas cards, in equipment, materials, tools, uniforms, you name it. It's all based around, hey, the facts have changed, so I'm going to negotiate differently. Your staff increases. Recruiting is real. We all sell time in home service. So if you can quickly gain access to 10 more plumbers and all of the leads that kept those plumbers busy, that's a huge win. The way you go about doing this is pick what you want to be looking for. So if I'm a plumbing company, maybe you want to buy another plumbing company. Could be that you want to buy an HVAC company and expand the breadth of your services. Either one's fair game, you just want to decide where you are as an organization. If you're $1 million or $2 million in one service, you should probably just focus on the same service because it's just a little bit too complicated. So if I'm a $2 million plumbing company, I want to grow really fast, I should be looking for a $1 to $2 million plumbing company. Once I'm 5 to 7 million, maybe then I start looking for HVAC. So we start looking for plumbing or HVAC companies. The market for these things is pretty hot and it's challenging to find. I don't think you need to overcomplicate this. What most people do is they log into BizBuySell and they start looking for plumbing companies. And the problem here is everybody sees those deals. So everyone knows exactly where to look. They go to BizBuySell, they start blowing it up, and you probably, as a new buyer, cannot afford to compete against someone like me. And that's okay. You don't have to. You can do this old school. The way we bought our first 5 companies was we literally Googled plumber, Akron, Ohio. We got a list of all the different ones we thought that we could afford purely based on number of Google reviews. You know, if it had under 50 Google reviews, I was like, it's small, it's cheap, I can do this. And we sent them a letter. Hey, I'm John. I own Wilson Plumbing and Heating. We're growing fast. I'm a young guy. We have a lot of future ahead of us. Are you wanting to think about retirement? We get responses and we have closed deals that way. So you don't have to overcomplicate it. You can just source very old school, and that's attractive because it's low competition. Other ways are you can join BNI groups that have plumbers, that have HVAC guys. You can join community groups like ACA or PHCC, which are plumbing and HVAC contractors networking groups locally. You can join them, just get to know people. Acquisitions is a relationship game. And if you can build a relationship with a seller, when they're ready to go, they'll sell to you. One of the big advantages that is under thought about is when you're in the space, you get more deal flow. So what I mean by that is if this is your first acquisition and you say, I want to go buy a plumbing company, and you name your holding company or your platform Pine Capital Limited, you're going to have a lot more difficulty getting plumbers to call you back than I am as Wilson Plumbing and Heating. So an advantage would be either start something so you're in the game and people see that it's from another plumbing company. I get a letter almost daily from private equity businesses. So you have to set yourself apart, or just buy a really small one. There are deals out there that you can get for under $100,000. You can get into the game, and then suddenly more people will talk to you. So we're going to summarize this real quick. One, acquisitions is a great way to grow. You can grow really fast, and if speed matters, you can do it. Competition can be complicated, so make sure you're utilizing old school and relationship-driven approaches, and pick your target well. If you're a plumber, you're probably looking for plumbers, or pick another target that makes sense based on whatever your business goals are. So that's acquisitions. We've bought 9 companies over the past 8 years. We're getting ready to do our 10th, and we're going to continue to see acquisitions as a big part of what we do. If you do want to learn more, we're on our 3rd year of hosting HoldCo Conf, and the whole idea here is it's a conference based around using acquisitions to grow your business. If you're interested in that, check out holdcoconference.com.